Welcome to CEOs in Cars, a BC Business video series brought to you by Dilawri, Canada's largest automotive group. A show in which we drive around in high-performance cars with British Columbia's equally high-performing CEOs. In this episode, host and BC Business writer Steve Burgess rides shotgun with Vancouver Canadians baseball team co-owner Jake Kerr around Nat Bailey Stadium, the iconic home of the Vancouver Canadians. For the past 7 years, Kerr, who's also the founder of Ling & Forest Products, decided to combine his business acumen and love of baseball to buy the Vancouver Canadians. Given his uncanny ability to bring startups quick success by driving value and smart economies of scale, we put him behind the wheel of the 2014 Audi A6, one of Audi's most successful models that, like Kerr's products, are always in high demand because they deliver the goods without the fireworks. Okay, maybe a few fireworks. We are talking about Nat Bailey Stadium after all.
Jake Kerr, pleasure.
Nice to see you, sir.
We're going to be taking a spin in an Audi A6 today.
Sounds good.
And I will be in your hands.
I don't know if that's so good, but best of luck.
We'll see. It should be fun. Let's go. The way we usually start these things is that I ask you what your first car was. In this case, I'm just going to take a guess and say that it was hot dog shaped. It was like a truck. Shaped like a hot dog, am I right?
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Close. The first car I had was a disastrous car I bought with all my life savings at age 17, which was a 1959 Mercury that turned out had been, I think, rolled over in an accident, but I didn't know about any of that kind of stuff, so it didn't last long.
So tell me then, what businesses were you in before you got into the baseball business?
I started out in the advertising business in San Francisco, actually New York and San Francisco, back in the Mad Men era in the 60s, and would have loved to stay doing that. I really enjoyed it. My father got ill, and I came back to Vancouver in the early 70s just for a little while. And we were in the sawmill business up in Williams Lake and Quesnel and all over the central interior. Over the years, I sold off some other mills and centralized our operations in Williams Lake and central interior. So it was good. Sold the company about 6 or 7 years ago, and that's sitting around thinking what I'm going to do next, and got into baseball.
Now you are the owner of the Vancouver Canadians, a very successful owner of the Vancouver Canadians. So has it always been about baseball for you? Are you a long-time baseball fan?
Well, I'm a long-time baseball fan. I grew up in Vancouver and played Little League out in West Point Grey as a kid. I'd always followed baseball. I was a huge San Francisco Giants fan. I went to school at Berkeley, and the main reason for wanting to go there, other than the girls, was, and it was the 60s, so it was a great time to be there, was to go to the Giants games, which I did.
There was talk, I remember there were stories some years, not that long ago, it doesn't seem to me, that Nat Bailey was ill-suited, that it had fallen behind and that it was no longer suitable as a minor league ballpark.
Well, that was a few years ago, and there's no doubt that it had been let go in terms of the field surface. They send inspectors out each year, and we had failed the inspection, or the previous owner had, for a couple of years. So we spent some money on that, and it's right up to standard. Right down this line, we're going to build some bleachers that are very much like what was here in the 50s and 60s, and we're also going to build a porch like the Green Monster at Fenway, out in left field, where it's going to have the stand-up kind of high-top tables, and it'll be for sale for a group of, I think it's 20, or if it doesn't sell each night, you can buy an individual seat and go out there. There'll be a couple of hundred seats on the fence.
As for the Jays?
Well, yeah, the Jays.
Yeah, I was thinking that the price of gasoline is so high because the Jays bullpen is hoarding it all.
To pour on top of themselves.
That's
absolutely true.
They're a scary team, and they've got a lot of potential.
They do, and they can hit the ball like crazy. I think they have the most homers in the major leagues right now. So.
Have you got anything for them? Are you gonna be feeding the Jays some talent?
Yeah, we've had a few players go up. They're a great partner for us because they care about Canada and their brand in Canada. Right. So with the Jays, they not only have a different philosophy, which goes to saying they'd like to get a group of young guys together and teach them to be a team. They also are very, they like Vancouver a lot because we have a housing program. Our players all live in a billet program with families that live around Nat Bailey, and they've done it forever. When I bought the team, I thought, oh, really, is this how this works? And it does. There are certain people in Vancouver who love having the players come and stay with them for the summer.
Jake,
it's been a pleasure.
Had a lot of fun.
Much enjoyed it.
Try to do something about that Jays bullpen if you can.
I'm working on it.
Swing your
we may have to call you in.
If I could be on the big scoreboard, that would be.
You could be on the scoreboard anytime you want. Just let us know. Let us know. It's easy.